Have you been wondering what water kefir is and how to make it? In this video, I'll discuss some of the benefits of drinking water kefir, where to buy water kefir grains, and I'll walk you through step by step as I prepare a new batch. My name is Amber Byers, and I am passionate about helping mamas learn how to live a low-tox lifestyle and incorporate natural remedies into their daily lives. Be sure to hit subscribe and to click the bell to be notified weekly when my new videos are posted, and stick around to the end of my video where I will share with you how to get my beginner's guide to low-tox living. Let's begin with the benefits of drinking water kefir. Water kefir is full of healthy probiotics. It's a delicious, fizzy beverage that can replace soda and sugary juices. It has many benefits, including improving your immune response, protecting you against some cancers, improving heart, gut, kidney, and skin health, and even supporting healthy weight management. Kefir is also beneficial for your liver. It can decrease the fat deposition around the liver and reduce oxidative stress, which can lead to a healthier liver that is more efficient. Lactobacillus kefiri, a unique probiotic found in kefir, has been shown to inhibit the growth of harmful bacteria such as Salmonella, H. pylori, and E. coli, helping to restore the balance of good bacteria, as well as reducing inflammation, the symptoms of leaky gut, and autoimmune diseases. Kefir contains more probiotics than yogurt, so if you're looking to improve digestion or gut health, kefir is the better choice. Nutritionists and healthcare professionals suggest that regularly drinking kefir may improve health in 2 to 4 weeks. You might be wondering, how often can I drink kefir? Water kefir is a milder drink than, say, kombucha, and so it can be drank daily and usually as much as you like. Keep in mind, when you first start out with probiotic foods and beverages, the amount that you can take will vary depending on your current state of gut health and the probiotic food itself. Another common question that people ask is it better to drink kefir or take probiotics? Kefir contains a plethora of prebiotics and bioactive compounds that can have positive effects on the gut, making it a better choice than a probiotic supplement alone to help boost gut health and prevent illness from children to adolescents and adults. Next, let's touch on the differences between water kefir and kombucha. Water kefir and kombucha are both fermented beverages that are made with a sweetened base liquid and a starter culture of bacteria and yeast. Both beverages are a good source of probiotics and contain a variety of organic acids, enzymes, and B vitamins, but the specific nutrient profile can vary greatly depending on the ingredients used and the fermentation process. The main difference between the two is that they have different tastes and textures. Some people may prefer the milder taste of water kefir, while others may prefer the more tangy flavor of kombucha. By now you might be asking, where do I find water kefir grains? There are several places where you can buy water kefir grains. Here are just a few. Online retailers such as Kombucha Camp, where I purchased mine, as well as others like Amazon, Etsy, or Cultures for Health. Some health food stores may carry water kefir grains in their refrigerated section, or they may be able to special order them for you. You can also look for local online forums or groups dedicated to fermented foods, where you may be able to find people who are willing to share or sell their water kefir grains. Lastly, you may be able to get water kefir grains from a friend or a family member who is already brewing their own water kefir. Many people who make fermented foods are more than happy to share their cultures with others. Let me walk you through the process that I take to make a new batch of water kefir. So this is a first ferment that is finished, and that's what we'll be taking care of today. This is after a second ferment. So as you notice, it's got a different color. This is pinkish because I had fermented this with strawberries. So let's get started. I bought my kefir grains. They're called grains from Kombucha Camp. So if you're familiar with kombucha. Kombucha has what is called a SCOBY. It's a symbiotic culture of yeast and bacteria. Kefir is also a symbiotic culture of yeast and bacteria, but instead of one giant film that like fills the top, they're what are called grains. So I don't know if you can see them well, but that's the translucent things that you see around the bottom. And you'll notice I have something floating in here, and I'll explain that in a minute. So the first step is to separate your first ferment from the grains, because we need the grains for the next batch. So I have this stainless steel funnel. It has this little strainer insert. So I put the insert in, and this is going to allow the kefir to flow through and the grains to remain inside here. And I was hoping that I would have enough room for all of it in this jar. We'll see. Okay, so when I started, these were a lot smaller. But for example, there's 2 of the grains. So they have grown quite a bit. Some of them have. They're kind of like a jelly-like material. If you notice, can you see the bubbles that are in here? So it becomes carbonated. So what kefir is a fermented probiotic drink. So we start with water and sugar and put it in here, and then the kefir grains, they ferment for 24 to 48 hours. After the 24 to 48 hours, then we can go ahead and put them into a different jar with an airtight lid. I have these airlock jars, and they have this silicone seal, and then they go like this, and then it can build up carbonation because you want an airtight seal for that second ferment. So I am going to go ahead and move these grains. And then I'm going to actually grab a second funnel, and I am going to try a strawberry lemonade ferment. So I have done strawberry, I've done blueberries, I've done a mixed berry, we've done pineapple. Pineapple is really good. So you can use either fresh or frozen fruit. So the strawberries I have in my jars today were just some frozen strawberries I took out when I made my smoothie. And then you want to cut them out small enough that they fit in the top of your jar. And then it says like a 1/4 cup for the full batch. So I just line the bottom of the jar. So super scientific there. And then to make it lemonade-y, it says for the entire batch to use a 1/4 cup of lemon juice. So I have a 1/4 cup in here. So I'll pour 1/8 of a cup into each of these, or try and get about as close to 1/8 of a cup as I can. Okay, and so now I have strawberries and I have lemon juice in the bottom here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pour this in. So this is our first fermented kefir. And it doesn't look like this was the best jar to put it in to pour from, maybe. Okay, and I like leaving a little bit of headroom because it is going to build up carbonation. So after 8 to 12 hours, you might want to burp it and then let it sit another 12 or so hours, so that your bottle doesn't kind of explode open when you go to open it. Okay, so I will just close these up and I leave them sit right on my kitchen counter. And so this will sit like this until it's fermented in about another 12 hours. So then we deal with our grains. So in here I have 4 cups of water. All that is needed to make kefir is water and sugar. Unlike kombucha, you have to brew a tea and then you put the sugar, and the kombucha feeds off of the caffeine and the sugar in the teas, and then it turns into the fermented drink. So this is actually just sugar and water. So because I have reverse osmosis water, and Kefir actually really likes mineral rich water, I have to add something to my water. So a couple of ideas of things that you could add are mineral drops, or you can add something like an eighth maybe to a quarter teaspoon of mineral rich salt. I have some pink Himalayan salt. You can add a quarter teaspoon of molasses. I choose to add a date. Dates are really rich in minerals, so I just add a date to mine. So to the water, I'm gonna add a quarter cup sugar, and I'm super scientific about it. I just shake it till it's level. There's my quarter cup, and I add it in here. And then I stir that up really well until it's all dissolved. So some things that help it dissolve are, if you would start with warmer water. So you could heat a little bit of water, like 1 of the cups. So this is 4 cups water, a quarter cup sugar, and then a quarter cup of kefir grains. So you could heat 1 cup of water to get it warm, put the sugar in and get it to dissolve, and then fill it with the other 3 cups of warm or lukewarm water. I actually usually just do it this way and stir it till it's dissolved. And then you want to make sure that your jar is clean. And I actually only have 1 half-gallon jar in my house. So I'm going to wash this one up really quick. Okay, so now I have my clean jar. Like I said, this is a half-gallon jar because I found that a quart, even though it holds 4 cups, a quart jar just wasn't enough room to allow for the kefir grains and the sugar and the water. So I am going to give this another stir. There's a little bit of undissolved sugar in the bottom. So I add my sugar water to the jar. And then these are my kefir grains. You'll notice that my date from last time is in there. So I'm just gonna pull that out and scrape any kefir grains off of it and the skin. And then I'm just gonna put those grains back into this jar. And so as the grains eat the sugar in the water, then they produce the probiotics, which is what we are after when we drink fermented drinks. So then this is called a kombucha cap. So you just slip that over the top and you let that sit for 24 to 48 hours. And then the cycle continues. You put it in for a second ferment and you start a new batch. In conclusion, here are a few of the reasons I have chosen to make water kefir and incorporate it into our daily lives. First of all, it's easy and it's fast. The typical water kefir recipe calls for only 24 to 48 hours of fermentation time. Kombucha takes 7 to 14 days per brewing cycle. Water kefir may have around 400 plus types of organisms that repopulate the gut and boost immunity. And it's not too sour. Some people find kombucha a little too tangy to enjoy. Water kefir has a lighter profile that many fermentation newbies or families with young children may enjoy. It's dairy-free, caffeine-free, and vegan-friendly, plus it reproduces rapidly so you can share with friends or feed your extra grains to your chickens. Are you considering brewing some kefir? Let me know below in the comments. Are you already enjoying some form of fermented food in your diet? I'd love to hear that below as well. As always, take care and we'll talk again soon, friends. Bye-bye.